back control, always make sure you have your hooks in, make sure your ankles are not crossed. If your ankles are crossed, all he has to do is trap the top one, and now I'm ankle locked. Not good, you can't get out of that. So, right here, different types of arm control. The basic one is the seat belt. You can have both arms on top, both arms on the bottom. Really doesn't matter, just depends on what you're trying to go for. If you want to choke them, you got to have at least one arm on top. It helps to even have both arms on top, but this keep them from squirming too much in the meantime. Now, in order to choke him, you got to get underneath their chin, and if he's smart, he's not going to make that easy. He's going to tuck his chin to his body. He might block his neck with his hands. So I'm going to have to, fortunately, be a dick. A couple ways I like to do that. You got to slide your hand under the chin. I like to do two things at once. The first is I make what they call a nukite. It's a spear hand in karate, and I grind that through underneath his chin to get my hand underneath. Very abrasive, very painful. In order to make it a little easier, I also do cross face with this top arm at the forehead to open up the space by leveraging his head. Now we're here. I'm going to slide through, make space until my elbow is underneath his chin. So what this does is it puts my bicep in one carotid artery, my forearm in the other carotid artery. This backhand has an important job as well. My hand finds itself into the crook of this elbow, turning my palm towards me, and dropping behind the head like so. Now, he's already in a bad spot. I want to make it worse by tightening the choke as I take a deep breath into the back of his neck. So they call this a rear naked choke. We call it Hadakajime. It's important to make sure your elbow is lined up with their chin, because this is not cutting off their airflow, just cutting off the blood supply. So go ahead and talk, Nelson.
Hi.
So he can still talk, he can still breathe. But that doesn't mean I can't choke the blood off, right? So elbow in line with the chin, safer for his windpipe. Should only take a couple of seconds to put them out. Now, going across the windpipe is an option, but this is something you shouldn't do unless it's life or death, right? Coming across the windpipe might even kill him if you're not careful. If it comes to it, palms together, fingers overlapping, forearm across, tighten like so. Doesn't take much pressure at all. So it's just like the other, this time a little shallower, just cutting off that airflow. Now, it's not going to put him unconscious very quickly, but it's going to hurt like hell. Back to that seatbelt position. I'm in a good spot to start working for a choke. A lot of times they're able to fight that, but this hand has an ulterior motive. Just like before, you're able to open them up with this wing motion. If I try to fight him by going up, he's strong, he can clamp his elbow to his body. Yeah, it's hard. But if I take his elbow that way, no trouble at all. So I'm going to open, make sure my hand stays interlaced, and I'm going to pivot to the side of his body, straight back to that armbar from before. From the beginning, hooks in, seatbelt. I'm going to try to get a choke. If I get a choke, awesome. Windpipe chokes, if you want to be evil. If I'm trying to go for a choke and he's able to fight it, I might be able to switch on over to him.